Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Monday, March 24th. What do we got? We got Adam Peak, People Packaging Podcast. We've got Cory Connors.
Evelio, are you here? I hear you in my. Sorry, that was weird.
He's in your spare room.
I'm in your head. Yeah. What are we covering today? We're covering a bunch of stuff. We got some sustainability issues we're talking about. We're covering Coca-Cola's commitment to reusable packaging. They're going to reuse their aluminum cans. They'll just rinse them out and put more Coke in there and sell them again.
Sounds great.
We got some impact on beer from the tariffs. And then we're talking about Mark's. Is it Mark and Spencer's or Marks and Spencer's?
We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That's right. Yo. All right.
So real quick, Evelio, before we dive into all these, because this is our prolonged, we've got 30 minutes here. We can let this breathe a little bit.
We can talk really slow.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah. So on Thursday, we made some predictions, and I know you were sad that you couldn't be part of Sports Talk. But Cory and I did make some basketball predictions. And I would just like to say I'm right. I was right. We predicted we predicted which packaging university would go further in the NCAA basketball tournament. Cory, who did you pick?
The Oregon Ducks, of course.
And did they lose last night?
Yes, close game. Really played hard, but yes, they lost to Arizona.
My Colorado State University Rams. Shut up, dog.
Dude, my dog is like going crazy.
I wear my hoodie today. But
is Arizona have an animal?
What's that?
The Sun Devils.
That's not an animal.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, Arizona. Actually, they're the Wildcats or something.
Cactus.
Yes. Arizona State is the Sun Devils. My Colorado State University Rams did lose on a last-second shot by Derek Queen, which hurt a little bit, but it was a good run for the Rams. But I predicted that Michigan State go Sparty would go the furthest of the 5 packaging schools, and
play the tape.
I was right over Oregon. However, Brigham Young University is also still in it, along with Florida. So still some packaging schools or schools that are rumored to have packaging programs.
Yeah, we took a little
pretty liberal.
Yeah. We took
They're like the LaCroix of packaging, right? Like somebody in the dean's office whispered packaging.
Right.
Yeah. That's what Oregon is.
Whoa, easy, buddy. Easy.
And then
top-notch School of Business. Yeah.
And then also I will say on Friday I got to fly Han Solo, and the Sparty's playing great. So I got to fly solo with Michael Fisher from Rotten. That was super fun. And that candy is incredible. They've got to be the next like big thing in like the low sugar candy world, because they've got these like gummy crunchies that we tried. They did not last more than 10 seconds in my house. Those things are so good. I can't.
What's the niche? Is it sour? Is it sweet? Is it?
They have sour, so they have sour gummies, but they taste like the Nerd Clusters or like sour gummy worms, and they taste better than traditional candy, but it's like low sugar, no artificial colors, so there's none of the like food dyes or anything. It's really, so my wife was like, this is actually not terrible for the kids, and I was like, have at it, children, and they were just like, it's so good. So shout out to Rotten for coming on the show on Friday. It was a fun show, and they've got incredible product. So
yeah, those guys are cool. I think I had those guys on. I think I had Mike on the podcast like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, he was really pissed that you didn't join. He was like, "Where's Evelio?" And I was like, "He's normally in my head."
No, it was great because like that was like when they first. I think he was still in college. I think he might have been like in his dorm room when I interviewed him.
That's awesome.
But it was It's crazy.
Good to see them have success.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. All right, what are we talking about first? What's our first story of the day?
All right, let's hit. I guess it's Marks and Spencer.
Marks and Spencer's. M&S.
British retail royalty.
Not M&M's.
They should have gone with Spencer and Marks so they could be Sam. That would have been much better. Although S&M, probably M&S is probably better.
That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's turns out I think that has other
implications.
So their customers are concerned that they're changing their packaging to paper. And
do you have the article, Evelio?
Yeah, I'm trying to share it without having like a million ads pop up here.
We need to be
well,
aware
while you're doing that, let me answer Chris Olson's difficult question here.
Yeah.
Evelio, can you please pull it up? I know you don't want to talk basketball, but you're
No, I just see something about Dairy Queen.
Yeah, Dairy Queen's did Dairy Queen travel before his buzzer beater versus Colorado State? Chris, the answer is technically yes, he did travel on that play, and also that will never get called in basketball. So it's one of those, like, as much as I wanted to be like, oh yeah, he definitely traveled, it was close.
They're taking a lot of steps with that.
It was a good no call because he hit a very, very difficult shot, and if they would have called travel, people would have lost it. They would have traveled to actual Dairy Queen and probably rioted. This probably would have happened, and then it would have just been a blizzard of sadness all over Maryland.
But aren't rules? Yeah. Right? Like
so traveling is sort of like
soccer, football, and you're offsides and you score a goal. They're going to call it.
Right.
That's the rule.
Yes. there are rules, and then there are it's like traffic rules, right? Like if it's 75 miles per hour and you're going 77, you are breaking the rule. You're breaking the law. Yeah. And if a cop pulls you over, you'd be like, man, I'm really frustrated that you're actually giving me a ticket and wasting all this time. So there are some rules in basketball that are like,
you still get a ticket.
No, you don't. Cops give people warnings all the time.
You still get a ticket. Like
there's a lot of
and also they don't pull you over, right? Most of the time, because it's like, this is going to be annoying. I'm not going to call it. So that was one of those rules. It's a rule. There's a lot of those in sports, right? There's just a lot of there are some that are pretty cut and dry. Like, was that a goal? Was that not a goal? Was it offsides? Was it not offsides? But then there's
pretty clear, especially with all the technology now. You can,
They kept reviewing who touched the ball last, and
there's only certain things you can. Because here's the deal: as somebody who's officiated basketball, just calm down. As somebody who's officiated basketball, I will tell you this: the game is very, very fast paced, and on almost every play, there's probably technically some sort of rule violation that's occurring by especially the defense. There's illegal screens. There's grabbing, there's pushing, and
I like the grabbing.
Yeah, there's lots of grabbing. Have you pulled up this Marks and Spencer thing? Because I can talk basketball the entire time.
No, I just think it's interesting that that there are rules to the game, and traveling is the one that pops up the most. Like people are always like, "Oh, did so and so travel?"
Yeah,
I remember as last time I played basketball in 5th grade, Mr. Henson would not let you take more than 3 steps or something like that.
I guarantee you, Mr. Henson did not call every travel in 5th grade basketball, because if he did, the game would not. You couldn't actually play.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch basketball.
Good. Well, we don't want you.
I've always blamed Mr. Henson for my lack of interest in basketball too.
They don't follow.
Oh, hey, look what's up here, Marks and Spencer. So these guys are on a pathway to, what do they say, like 2040, which is like, it's always kind of funny to me when people are like, by the year 2095. It's like,
it's a long ways away, but it's good to have goals.
Yes.
But so they're going through they're switching from plastic to paper, but it's still paper with barrier properties, which means it's got some kind of coating or lining.
Correct, but that is not abnormal for the paper recycling stream, which means that it can be, I believe, curb with a K, KERB, curbside recycled in the UK.
English.
Yeah.
It's not Abby normal.
OG English.
Mm.
I thought it was interesting because the complaints on this, if you scroll down, scroll down to the bottom, get past these TikTok videos. So net zero by 2040. Where are you? No,
I don't know. This is the bottom. Like, net
zero
zero by
billion units.
2040.
No, you keep going. It talks about what the customers are complaining about. There's so many ads on this dumb thing. There it is. Okay. This is the complaints. How about bringing something new in that's actually healthy? Bring back the Sparks bar. And I was like, wait, are the customers really mad about the switch from paper to plastic?
And now they just don't like that.
This
they
seems
don't
like
have
a stretch. Yeah.
But I think the point that I wanted to share with this article is this comes after a study that revealed nearly half of Brits have no idea how to recycle. I would say that's probably close to 90% in the US.
That's you, Charlie.
I think they interviewed. They must have interviewed several people for this article.
Dozens, but
at least 3.
But I do think that what people are primarily concerned with is not the recyclability of the packaging, because I don't think that the majority of people truly actually care. We care. Our audience cares. People should care. But I think at the end of the day, most normal people are like, okay, whatever. Like, bring me some new flavors, make something, make it low sugar. Like they want better features and benefits. They don't really particularly care as much about recycling as I think we wish they would. Thoughts?
Yeah. And they never will until it hits them, until it makes it easier for them somehow, until it's very obvious to them.
I think it's until they make money. I think when we start, if we can figure out a way to pay people to recycle correctly,
or saves them money, right?
Yeah,
right. So is this correct? Which items can and can't be recycled? Polystyrene, styrofoam. Can it be recycled?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Does it have any value once it's recycled? No.
Landfill.
Yes.
Dirty pizza boxes.
Yes.
A bit of both. Parts of the box covered in cheese and other food should be thrown in general waste, but clean cardboard should be recycled.
It can take certain amounts of food waste. That's been clearly adjudicated.
Apparently not in the UK.
Yeah. They're a little different. They're a little bit slow there.
Their pizza's different. Yeah.
Plastic bottle lids. Only when you put them back on the bottle.
True.
Is it though?
Yes.
Or does it just get separated out?
If it's a monomaterial, it will be recycled along
if it is.
Yeah. If it's PET.
Yeah.
If it's PP, throw your PP in the trash.
That's right. Plastic takeaway containers recyclable? Depends.
Yeah, that's
depends on what plastic it is. That's and is it black plastic? Because then that stuff doesn't get sorted properly.
Right.
No.
Aerosol cans.
Aluminum.
Only when empty. Not all aerosol cans. Sorry, because there's a combination of materials on some of these. Batteries. That's not packaging. Glass jars recyclable for sure.
Okay, but here's why most people don't know how to recycle. Is we actually host a show called Packaging Today, and have been doing it now for dozens of years.
5 years.
Yeah, so many years, all the years.
Several years.
And we're still trying to answer like pretty basic questions about like what can and cannot be recycled and what actually gets recycled. And because if you were to say that to me in Utah, can glass be recycled? I would say no. It does not get recycled here. We can't collect glass for recycling. So the answer in Utah is no. The answer in Utah for polystyrene is no. Most plastic bottles are going to be not monomaterial. So that is a no. But if I'm in a different country,
well said, Megan.
then maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. The most interesting part of this whole article is this line here where they've redesigned porridge containers. Like people still eat porridge. Like
we need Hugh and Charlie to comment on this.
Yeah.
Porridge.
Do you eat porridge? I thought that was just like
yay or nay. That's our next episode. Porridge.
I thought this was just like they made it up for Goldilocks.
If so, I'm rebranding to the People of Porridge podcast, and
I feel like that's something you should put maple syrup on. Am I right?
That's a good one. You tell us, Hugh. It's true from a consumer standpoint. The hype coming from Ava. It's true from a consumer standpoint. The hype right now is on healthy snacks that taste good but don't use junk or fillers. People most focus on health right now. So if packaging is toxic to our health because it's leaching some chemical in the food, people care about it more. Yeah, for sure. And that kind of goes right back to rotten.
Sustainability is a health issue. Yeah, I agree. She's right.
Yeah, and also, it's a material question in the sense that
you're a material girl.
You're a material girl. We got Hugh coming in.
Here he goes.
Interrupting my Madonna quotes.
Yes, maple syrup. That's right. Hugh puts maple syrup on everything.
Hugh, if somebody wanted maple syrup, where would they buy maple syrup from, Hugh?
Let us know.
Charlie? Who has the best maple syrup? So, but when it comes to plastics and like, these wrappers and all this kind of stuff, error. The issue isn't like, is it good or bad? It's like, what is the actual alternative? Because people, we've talked about this so many times where it's like, well, we should go to aluminum because we're afraid of microplastics. It's like, well, it's touching plastic. Like that's what your beverage is touching. So, and if it's not touching plastic, then it's touching aluminum, which is not exactly great. As we've learned from the whole deodorant, antiperspirant, like aluminum causes AIDS, or like there's all sorts of stuff.
And that's a really good point. I think from a branding,
we need to say that that's not true.
I don't think aluminum causes AIDS.
Allegedly.
Jeez. This is not appropriate to say. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. My fault.
No. But I think from a branding perspective, aluminum as a material has branded so much differently than plastic, right? Aluminum is like the savior, and it's good, and it's clean and it's healthy and blah blah blah. But it's not. Yeah.
Didn't somebody from Europe give us permission to call it aluminium?
Yes, I think we've been included in that group.
Yes.
Okay. That's good news.
Can I tell you, I can't stop with this pen.
Yes.
This
Sponsored
is
by.
Where'd you buy it again?
No, this is a
website.
No, listen.
If you're from Sharpie and you're listening, please sponsor Evelio.
I love this thing.
Look at it.
It is like it is a steel cover for this pen.
We're all aware of the pen.
Dude, so it's a refill. Oh
no, it's just a cover. It is like so heavy and it's metal. It is like the coolest thing. If you're sketching and drawing and you love metal, this is it.
Yeah,
the pen rocks.
Sub Pop.
Man, it feels so good. It feels so good to sketch with this thing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I thought it was like something. So you just have to buy like a Sharpie condom to put over the top of it. Is that
basically it comes as but I digress.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So what do we got? We got how aluminum is going to impact beer
tariffs
pricing.
Massive impact.
I think, and I thought this article was important because it does show that tariffs aren't just like, we buy fully produced things from this country and then bring them over here, but we really truly have a global economy. So I thought this was an interesting article from, where's this in?
Food and Wine.
Food and Wine.
Yeah. And you can buy these beautiful rings and
F&W if you're in the know.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
So there's a reduction in demand and there's an increase in cost of raw materials because of these tariffs. This is going to spike retail prices, all prices.
Yep. So one of the quotes here, overnight tariffs could add $60 million to the cost structure of small brewers in the U.S. And down, I don't know where you're at. I'm scrolling on the article myself because did you get to the packaging pain part? There it is. No, I think you were up. Up. Up.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Okay.
this is just this. Yes, but anyway, like this is just one component. I think if we look at tariffs and everything else that's going on, countries not, now rejecting American products. If you're a local brewer and you were shipping to Canada, you've probably been hit with bigger issues than the tariffs. But overall, like the cost of aluminum has gone up. Will this shift people to go into glass? Will this shift some of the other
reusable glass? That's interesting.
Possibly.
So it says here that aluminum cans are the single largest input cost in American beer manufacturing at over 40 billion cans purchased annually. So that's a huge deal. But the article also talks, and we can post links to these articles if you guys want to go read them. But it also talks about the input cost of the ingredients. Just because you're buying a Budweiser, the king of beers, you'd be surprised at what you'd be surprised at how many of those ingredients and the packaging and all sorts of stuff is imported and then filled and made here in the US.
True.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a huge impact, not just to beer, but to anybody putting anything in aluminum. That's going to go for like Graza olive oil, right? They put their refills in
a lot aluminum. Of makeup.
Yep. Makeup. You've got your not beer, liquid death. Any product that's going in any type of aluminum, that's getting hit.
Sharpie pen covers.
Oh, that's not aluminum.
Oh, it's not.
No,
it's titanium.
Tell us more about this Sharpie pen cover. That's what everybody's.
I'm getting a lot of private messages about your pen cover. Can we talk more about that?
I sketch so much that finding like a pen that feels good is impossible. When you do, you're like, holy crap. All right, two things. One,
growlers,
yeah, we definitely need more growlers.
I agree, Chris.
All right, so we got two things. Adam,
yes,
you shot us over a message this morning on all these articles that we should look at, and you did this using AI. You used ChatGPT.
Shot gipped. Yes. And I've been trying to figure out ways to like find, look at things that I've been doing and think of it from like a different mindset using available tools without being like totally crazy with it when it comes to content creation and things like that. But I do find it really useful for research, for finding articles, for breaking down certain documents, just things that were going to take me time. And I would just have to go out and Google search. Well, now you can, there's a different methodology for search. It's just different than Google is how I look at it. It's a more advanced version of it.
Even when you use Google now, the first search part is the ChatGPT.
It's like it's their own, Gemini.
It's their AI, yeah.
And that's just okay.
No, their AI is actually really good, especially for image. Like we can take a picture. I can take a screen capture of Cory right now, put it into Gemini, and ask it to rotate him, and it'll move him around. Or I can have it like changes, and the quality of it is amazing. Like
totally agree. I'm saying the search functionality of it to me is like kind of, it's like we're just going to give you an overview, and then you still got to go scroll through everything. Whereas like ChatGPT, or I'm excited to learn more about Perplexity, it's so much more conversational, and I almost have to rewire how I talk to it. So like, or how I ask things from it. Because with Google, it's like you just start typing, and it's like, okay, and that's the question I want to ask.
Yeah.
Whereas now
it gives you like 50 results that you then have to go through and like read each one to figure out like, which is the right answer, versus chat is like, here's the answer, and then here are the links to this to support this.
I mean, I know people using it for like basic like legal works.
Hey, I love that Megan and Chris are joining forces to change growler packaging here on the show live.
I agree.
Next $1 billion company.
Yeah. It's going to be, we need to at least get 2% royalty on this and though we have to pay it back to ChatGPT.
That's right.
Because they're the ones who gave us the article idea. Yeah, I mean, I think it's it feels a little bit like Netscape almost.
Mm-hmm.
You remember like just kind of getting into the internet where it's like it wasn't really all that perfect. That's kind of still how ChatGPT feels to me. But I mean, I reverse engineered it to do basic label quotes. Like I could train a GPT to give budgetary pricing on labels for one certain material based on a quote that I had. So it's, to me, there's a lot of benefits to it. I think there's going to be a ton of jobs created. I think that our kids are going to benefit from knowing how to prompt AI, how to look through the results, how to, understand what's BS and what's real. Because I think we mentioned on the show, but there are companies now that are pummeling thousands of articles a day that are completely false onto the internet to keep AI dumb. Like that's a whole thing. It's a whole industry now because we don't want to get so smart that we have to bow down to it and it becomes our overlord.
It's crazy.
All right, man. Yeah. I use it in my day to day. Like I took my daughter to go. She's like, I want to pick up some shorts. So we went to like Goodwill to either find pants that she can cut or something that's available. And I hate going there, but she loves going there. So I went over to the book section. I took a snapshot of 3 shelves worth of books, and you never know what you're gonna find there. So I threw that image into ChatGPT. I used the deep research function of it, and I'm like, tell me if there's any books on here that would be resellable at more than $50. Like I want to see like what it can do. And it took like 30 minutes to process all the books in the entire thing, and it came back. It's like top left, this Dean Koontz books. If it's hard copy, it's like a whatever. It's like collectible at 450 is what the lowest sell is on Etsy, on eBay. Like it was insane. But like trying to figure out like how to just incorporate it in your day to day, not just in design, but like I use it to figure out my kids' math, like doing the new math. It's like how can you incorporate it into your day to day? Just like throw stupid stuff at it, see what helps. Like we do recipes out of there.
Did you buy that book?
They're never great. Nah, I didn't buy it. I'm not buying and reselling anything. But I just thought it was interesting. Like
I need to do that with all my books.
So we got some questions here. What role does technology play in enhancing packaging functionality and consumer engagement? Can you share examples of packaging that communicates? This will be coming. Maybe we'll do this this week. Those are 4 questions we can cover each one this week. All right, Hugh. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Hugh.
We'll talk to you guys. We got to wrap this up. I got a call too. Keep dropping questions. We'll check them out and see you tomorrow.